Today we're watching the funniest fake speedruns.
Guys, I swear, I am not hacking. This is wild.
These are the funniest fake Minecraft speedruns of all time. This first speedrun begins with the runner spawning directly next to a village. And right off the bat, there's already something fake about the speedrun. No, it isn't the village, as it appears to be completely normal. And it's not as world generation either, as it also looked completely legit. But take a very close look into the bottom right corner of the screen, where if you look carefully, you'll notice one block looks slightly different than the rest. This is a moss block. A block that clearly can't spawn in a plains biome, which means the runner placed this block himself off camera, and it will become important very soon. So the run begins with the speedrunner collecting some wood, crafting himself a few stone tools, and heading towards the nearby village. But right away, the runner finds some incredibly strange items in this village chest, along with a saddle, bread, and leather boots, all normal items. The runner also finds 3 dark oak leaves and 2 sticks. And while these items may appear to be innocent, both of them actually can't spawn in a village chest. So of course, when the
Is he gonna make a leaf pickaxe?
runner places down his crafting table, he uses these very items to craft the earthquake scythe?
Wait,
that's not a real item, is it? And when he swings it, he pulls stone and dirt from out of the ground, creating a ring around him and his enemy, which in this case is this poor pig.
Alright,
That thing is insanely scary. So, after destroying an innocent pig and collecting a bit more loot, the runner needs to locate a ruins portal to travel to the nether.
I genuinely thought he was gonna make a leaf pickaxe.
But do you remember at the very start of the run when the speedrunner found this strange moss block on the floor? Well, the runner makes his way towards the block, and when he breaks it, he digs straight down into a ruins portal room. This cheating is hilarious. So, the runner enters the ruins portal room, where things appear to be fairly normal. So, the runner enters the ruins portal room, where
Did he just say the ruins portal room? He said the ruined portal room. He meant ruins.
things appear to be fairly normal on the surface. But brace yourself, because this runner tries one of the funniest ways to cheat I've literally ever seen. Because when the runner goes to loot this chest, he decides it's the perfect time to ask his viewers to follow him on Instagram. And after the runner is done looting the chest, take a very close look at his inventory, where the runner has magically acquired a nether
No, that's not a netherite axe, that's just a wooden axe with a trip. What do you think it is?
right axe. Well, let's rewind the footage and see what really happens. Because if you play this footage frame by frame, you can actually see there is a netherite axe in this ruins portal chest. And just 1 frame later, the runner put up the image to follow his Instagram. If you couldn't tell, the runner clearly did this to try to hide the fact that there is a netherite axe in this chest, but did it just 1 frame late. So, with a netherite axe in his inventory, the runner finishes building the portal and makes his way into the nether, where right off the bat, he immediately locates a nether fortress. Now, while the fortress is actually completely legit, it's something else this runner does that's actually completely fake. Because watch closely to what happens when the runner drinks this potion of healing.
We just not gonna talk about how he got it? Like, where did he get the potion?
You catch that? Even though this is clearly a potion of healing, the runner somehow gained a fire resistance effect.
Oh no, that's normal, that's normal.
And I'll just be honest, I have no idea how that just happened. So, with this fire resistance effect on, the runner quickly begins his search for a blaze spawner room. But that's when the runner finds the Blaze Museum? Did I miss an update?
That's not the Blaze Museum, that's the Blaze Museum.
Well, the runner enters the Blaze Museum, where he finds a room full of blazes stuck in place, which allows the runner to fight them without taking any damage, quickly collecting 7
Bruh, imagine the guard just like, why are all the blazes gone?
blaze rods. Since when were there blaze museums in Minecraft? So,
Genuinely, if this guy built it, like, W to him. It looks really good.
So, after collecting all the
Except
rods
that's
that he
selling, though,
needs
bro,
from
that
the
is-
Blaze Museum,
For the last time, it's the Blaze Museum.
the runner begins his search for a nearby bastion, and all is normal until the runner accidentally steps on this strange pressure plate, teleporting him into a dropper map? What is going
what?
on? Well, he reads a sign explaining that for him to get to the bastion, he must complete the dropper. I don't know what's happening anymore. Well, the runner goes for the jump
This is kind of nostalgic.
and actually completes the dropper first try. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty impressive. And as the sign said, after he survives the dropper, he finds these 3 strange doors in the wall, and
Why do people do 3 doors like that? It looks terrible. Why? Why do that? Just do 1 or 2.
when he opens them, he's greeted with a bastion right in front of him.
I'll admit it to the fake speedrunner, that transition was sick. Either that or he used a mod. Like the immersive portals mod.
So, the runner enters the bastion, where thankfully, things finally seem normal, as the runner
I'm
crafts
not
an
gonna-
iron pickaxe,
about this.
collects some gold blocks, and
Back to
searches for a group of
What
nearby
is with all the
piglins to
piglins?
trade with. But this is when one of the craziest things I've ever seen in a Minecraft speedrun happens. Because the runner pulls out some extra dirt he got from earlier in the run, starts throwing it at the piglins, and they actually start trading with him. Let me repeat, the piglins are trading with dirt blocks. But not only that, because they give the speedrunners some of the most overpowered trades in Minecraft, including 12 blocks of obsidian and 16 ender pearls. I'm at a loss for words. So, after
Hold up. See how he's got 7 blaze rods in his hotbar? Why does he also have 7 blaze rods in his inventory? Wait, am I the first one to notice that?
16 ender pearls. I'm at a loss for words. So, after trading literal dirt with the piglins, the runner begins crafting his nether portal and prepares to head into the overworld. But this is when the runner decides it's the perfect time to start playing chess?
What?
During a Minecraft speedrun? This guy can't be serious.
5 minutes later.
Well, after literally playing chess during a speedrun, the runner finally returns to Minecraft and heads into the overworld.
Well,
But
there goes
pause the
some time.
footage because the speedrunner actually just cheated. Because just a couple of
what?
minutes ago, before the runner started playing chess, we can clearly see this slot in the runner's inventory is empty. However, immediately after the runner returns to Minecraft, you can now see there's a diamond sword
I didn't notice that.
in that very same slot. It's pretty obvious the runner used playing chess as a distraction to get a diamond sword off camera. So, the runner spawns into the overworld, where using his Eyes of Ender, he starts to perform triangulation, a technique for locating the strongholds. But
God, I
right
don't know
after the runner
triangulation.
throws his first eye, take a closer look into the chat, where it reads the message, first throw registered, provide the second location. And right off the bat, that's extremely suspicious, because after testing this out in my own Minecraft world, I can confirm no message pops up after throwing an eye. But
Nah, really?
that's not all, because after the runner throws just one more eye, in the chat appears a message with the exact coordinates
And
to the
why is it
stronghold.
10,000?
This can't be
And why is it 10,000 blocks away?
a real feature. Well, after doing a bit of research, I actually found out the exact mod the runner is using, called the Strongholds Finder. And to add on, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of its description, you can clearly see this mod is not allowed in official speedruns. This guy's terrible at cheating. Well, after locating the stronghold using a banned Minecraft mod, the runner quickly digs down and enters into it. And giving the runner some credit, he actually locates the end portal room extremely normally without any suspicious activity. But that's the last real thing that happens in the speedrun. Because when the runner enters the end portal room, he finds 2 end portals, 1 red portal, and 1 blue portal with a
Red pill or blue pill? moment.
A sign reading "Choose wisely." Literally, what is going on? Well, I guess the runner had a good feeling about the red end portal because he decides to jump into that one. But he must have made the wrong choice because when he enters the end, oh my gosh, this is one of the scariest looking ends I've literally ever seen. Why are the end pillars literally made out of lava? And what kind of cursed fire dragon even is that? He definitely should have chosen the blue portal. Well, to make matters worse, when the runner tries to attack the fire dragon, he literally gets killed and the run just cuts off there. This next speedrun begins with the runner spawning on top of a shipwreck.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that is possible, but it's like super rare.
And while that's incredibly suspicious for sure, it's technically not impossible, so we'll let it slide. And
yeah, like I said, it's not impossible.
apart from a very lucky spawn, everything else looks normal too, with the runner facing completely straight, no strange messages in the left corner of the screen, and of course, the runner is in survival mode. But hold on a second, we missed something huge. I'm going to play this clip of his world generation, and I want you to figure out what's fake about it.
What?
Did you catch it? Well, to help you out, let's really slow down the footage and watch again. As you can clearly see, the runner actually spawns in a completely different location, but just one frame later is on top of this shipwreck. It's pretty obvious the runner has just cut his recording and pretended to spawn on a shipwreck to help out with the speedrun. So, the run continues with the runner collecting wood from a nearby tree, making a crafting table where he crafts some tools and heads towards the shipwreck. But nope, stop the footage, he just cheated once again. Because if you take an extremely close look at this beach, you'll actually notice one single block that isn't like the rest, which is this block of sandstone, a block that clearly can't spawn on a beach of normal sand.
Actually, it can. Like, if you go in 1.18 caves, like those little caves that go like diagonal down, you know what I mean? And if they're on a beach, sandstone can spawn on top. So that could just be what's happening. I doubt it, but...
Which actually means the runner placed it there himself before.
Okay, that's just not even close to where he placed it. The only thing you got right were that it was sandstone and it was on the beach. That's all, bro.
Recording to help him out later with something we'll see very soon. So, the runner returns to the shipwreck, where once again, something incredibly suspicious happens. Because while the loot in all three chests are 100% normal, did you catch what's strange about it? That's right, all three of the chests have the exact same loot and the exact position of each item. And because I'm not a math genius, I literally asked ChatGPT what the odds were of this happening, and after some complex math that I don't even want to get into, the odds of all three shipwreck chests containing the same loot is literally 0.001%, which, just to put in perspective, you are literally more likely to get struck by lightning. Well, besides these strange chests, the rest of the shipwreck is fairly normal, and the runner returns to shore, where he starts looking for a ruined portal. But do you remember when just a couple seconds ago, I pointed out this strange piece of sandstone on the beach? Well, the runner must have noticed it too, because he decides to dig down at this exact block. But the runner must have put the block in the wrong position, because he digs all the way down to bedrock and can't find a single ruins portal. Even while cheating, this guy is terrible. Well, without finding a ruins portal underground, the runner returns to the surface and decides to look manually. And all of a sudden, after running in an extremely specific direction, the runner magically locates one almost immediately. But
but it's not a ruined portal because the obsidian is floating.
Let's rewind the footage and see what actually happens. Because take a very close look at these pigs. If you watch closely, you'll actually notice they haven't moved at all, which is already very strange. But secondly, if you look closer, you can actually see the pigs make the shape of an arrow, which the runner has been following all the way to the ruined portal. And the only explanation is that the runner manually spawned in these pigs off camera to remind him which direction the ruined portal was located. Unfortunately for him, he wasn't smart enough to fool me. So, the runner makes his way to the ruined portal, where he opens the chest, collects his loot, and starts to fill in the portal. But hold on a second, did you see what I saw? No, it's not the ruined portal chest, as it actually contains completely normal items. And it's also not the portal itself, as it spawns in looking completely standard. However, watch the runner's inventory very closely when he starts placing obsidian in the portal. Did you see that? Even though the runner is clearly using these blocks of obsidian, for some reason, the amount in his inventory stays the exact same. And after my own testing, I actually noticed that when you're in creative mode, when you place a block, you actually keep the same amount in your inventory. So let's go back to the speedrun and take a closer look at his hearts, where if you look closely, you can actually see they are slightly blurry and much bigger than normal hearts. If you haven't caught on, this speedrunner is actually in creative mode and edited in a fake set of hearts to try to hide it. And this allowed him to finish the portal, even though he clearly didn't have enough obsidian. And the best part is that there's an obvious cut in his recording right after, where you can clearly see his hearts change as he went back into survival mode. So, the runner enters the portal, spawns in, and we can finally relax because things look normal. He spawned in with the same angle as he did in the overworlds, he's still in survival mode with the same amount of XP, and he hasn't gained any strange potion effects in the top right corner.
Yo, it's pointing at my recording. It's pointing at my recording bar. Chill, it's pointing at my recording bar.
But as the runner starts...
That's my recording bar, bro. That's my recording bar. You don't touch my recording bar.
To search for a nearby fortress, he makes a huge mistake, because it looks as the search for a nearby fortress.
Why are the nether bricks, like, for some reason they seem like brighter than usual?
He makes a huge mistake, because it looks as though the runner stops moving for a few seconds, which in itself, I guess isn't too suspicious. However, when the runner starts to move once again, did you catch it? For literally one single frame, if you look into the bottom left corner of the screen, you can see the faintest message of a player locating a fortress, which actually means while the runner was innocently standing still, he actually made a cut in his recording and used a /locate command off camera. So after using a locate command, the runner easily locates the fortress, where to his credit, he actually gets the achievement for entering into it. But things only get more strange when he goes to loot this fortress chest, because the runner finds one extremely strange item inside, this wooden axe. Okay, I know what you're thinking. What could possibly be weird about this very normal axe? Oh my gosh! This wooden axe has the ability to shoot fireballs? I must have missed an update. Well, with a
yeah, me too. I need to update my game.
fire shooting wooden axe, the runner quickly locates a blaze spawner room and starts to absolutely destroy them, collecting 7 blaze rods almost immediately. Now, in a real Minecraft speedrun, 7 blaze rods is more than enough to continue. However, the runner must not be satisfied, because he suddenly switches from Minecraft to YouTube, searches up a tutorial on how to duplicate items, and literally starts watching the tutorial during his speedrun. Did he forget that he's literally recording himself cheat? Well, after watching the tutorial, the runner returns to Minecraft, where he attempts to duplicate his 7 blaze rods. But I think he should have paid better attention to the YouTube video, because literally none of his rods duplicated, and the runner is still left with 7 blaze rods. This guy is terrible at cheating. Well, the runner must have given up on the duplication glitch, because he finally decides to start looking for a bastion. And giving him credit, he actually locates one fairly normally, without having to use a /locate commands like he did earlier.
Wait. That bastion actually looks kind of familiar. From one of the things I did. I was playing Minecraft in super flat, and this Goody looks like the exact Bastion. Imagine it's like the exact same one.
But even without a /locate command, the runner still found a way to cheat, because let's take a very close look at the floor. If you look extremely carefully, notice how some of the blocks of netherrack are actually slightly brighter than other blocks. And if you play the footage, the runner actually follows these brighter blocks all the way to the bastion. But
wait, how does he get them brighter?
My question is, how the heck did the runner adjust the brightness of a block in Minecraft? Well, the runner enters the bastion, where he mines some gold, crafts some ingots, and starts to trade
it was
with
that
the
kind of
piglins.
bastion too.
And thankfully, things are finally normal, as the piglins give him some very standard items. Well, that's besides this one piece of sugarcane the runner also gets, which is an item that's actually impossible to get from a piglin.
What?
And while this piece of sugarcane may look innocent, remember it for later. So, after collecting 15 pearls and 14 pieces of obsidian, the runner begins to craft his nether portal and spawn and 14 pieces of obsidian. The runner begins to craft his nether portal.
He begins to what the portal? Craft the portal?
And spawns into the overworld, where he starts searching for the strongholds. But hold on a second, rewind that footage. Because once again, in the bottom left corner of the
and why is it so far away again?
Screen, you can clearly see the runner use yet another locate command. Well, following the coordinates of this command, the runner actually ends up in the direct middle of a shipwreck. But don't worry.
Let me guess. The way that shipwreck's pointing, he's gonna follow it. If I get it right, you have to like and subscribe.
Because this is all part of the speedrunner's plan. Because he quickly places down a crafting table where he crafts one single lever and goes towards a very specific spot in the shipwreck. And when he places the lever down and flips it, he reveals a secret tunnel going all the way down to the strongholds. I have literally no words. So the runner falls down and
wait. Oh.
Enters the strongholds and begins his search for the end's portal room. But when the runner finally locates it, oh come on. I think this may be the goofiest looking portal that I've ever seen. Well, the runner crafts his Eyes of Ender, starts placing them in this wish.com looking end portal, and somehow it actually lights. But not only does this goofy portal actually lights, but it actually teleports the runner straight into the end. Oh gosh. So, the runner enters the end, and hallelujah, things are back to normal. Survival mode, check. No strange potion effects, check. The dragon still has full health, also check. But when the runner goes to the surface, I'll just play the footage.
What?
Okay, this might actually be one of the funniest things I've seen in a speedrun. Did the runner actually think we'd believe this is the Ender Dragon? I mean, his wings are literally made out of black wool. But the even bigger problem is, where the heck is the real Ender Dragon? I mean, the health bar literally shows he still has full health. Well, this doesn't seem to be a problem for the speedrunner, because he starts to quote-unquote kill the Ender Dragon. But this piece of sugarcane the runner got from a piglin must be magical, because the second he equips it, the portal somehow lights on its own, allowing the runner to finish the speedrun. This next speedrun begins with the runner immediately locating a shipwreck, where he starts off the run by collecting some wood, crafting a few tools, and making his way towards the boat. But as the speedrunner is moving towards it, he randomly collects a flint and steel in his inventory, even though we clearly saw him never get this anywhere in the speedrun. Well, let's slow down the footage and take a closer look at this pig. To start, it's moving incredibly suspiciously, far differently than how a normal pig moves around. And secondly, as the speedrunner is running by, you can actually see this very pig throw a flint and steel at the speedrunner. Like we've seen in countless of speedruns, this player is on a multiplayer server where his friend is using a morph mod pretending to be a pig. Both things that are obviously not allowed in a speedrun. So, the runner enters the shipwreck where, giving him the benefit of the doubt, all 3 chests appear to contain pretty normal items. But in the top corner of the second shipwreck chest, there's actually one piece of obsidian, which is an item that can't spawn in shipwreck chests. And while it may appear to be innocent, remember this for later in the run. So, after collecting all the loot from the shipwreck, the runner begins to search for a ruins portal to hopefully travel to the nether, where suddenly, the runner starts digging down, where he falls directly into a ruins, where suddenly, the runner begins to search for a ruins portal to hopefully travel to the nether, where suddenly...
Are we just not going to talk about the random spruce tree?
The runner starts digging down, where he falls directly into a
where did he get the lava bucket?
Room. But hold on, that's literally impossible. There's no way the runner could have known to dig down at this random block. Well, let's rewind the footage and see what really happened. If you take a very close look at this tree, do you notice how it's different from every single other tree in the area? Well, that's because this tree is actually a spruce tree, while the rest are oak and birch trees. And the problem is, spruce trees can only spawn in cold biomes like a taiga, which the runner is...
A taiga? What's a taiga? It's a taiga, bro.
Clearly not located in. It's pretty obvious the runner built the wrong tree off camera to remind him the exact position the ruins portal was located.
I don't know if he's heard of this thing called a
the runner locates the ruins portal, where he goes to loot the ruins portal chest, where he finds some pretty standard items. A golden helmet, a few obsidian, a vehicle crate. Wait, what? This will make more sense in a few seconds. Well, with the single block of obsidian he got from the shipwreck chest and the flint and steel from the pig, he's able to complete the portal and spawn into the nether, where he places down the vehicle crate he got a few seconds ago, and out spawns an actual car that the speedrunner actually hops into and starts driving around the nether. I've officially seen it all in Minecraft speedruns. So, with a literal car in Minecraft, it's pretty easy for the runner to travel through the nether and locate the fortress, where they immediately locate a blaze spawn. But as the runner is killing some of the blazes, move your focus towards this singular blaze, who seems to be moving awfully suspicious and far different than how a real blaze is supposed to move. Well, as the runner is fighting the rest of the blazes, you'll actually notice this blaze starts dropping multiple blaze rods, even though the runner clearly didn't kill it. If you haven't caught on, this isn't actually a real blaze, but a player again using a morph mod, likely the same one we saw pretending to be a pig earlier in the run. So, after fighting a few more blazes, the runner collects all the rods that he needs and starts to look for a bastion. But on his way, the runner comes across a full-blown obstacle course. Is this a new Minecraft feature? Well, the runner moves towards the obstacle course, where a player flies on screen typing in chat, "Welcome to the Minecraft obstacle course. Complete the course and you'll be teleported straight to a bastion." Well, the runner enters the course, where he comes across some of Minecraft's most impossible jumps. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, he's actually doing pretty good so far. Okay, there's no way he actually makes this jump. Oh my gosh, he's doing insane.
5 minutes later.
So, the runner finally completes the obstacle course, where as promised, is teleported directly in front of a bastion, where he immediately locates a few gold blocks, crafts some ingots, and finds a group of nearby piglins to trade with. Now, you're probably thinking that the runner got extremely lucky, as he manages to get 16 ender pearls almost immediately from the piglins. But let's actually take a closer look, because this part of the speedrun is completely fake. Watch, as the runner is trading with the piglins, he gets this huge stack of pearls that seems to be coming from inside of this wall. Now, I was extremely close to letting this slide, thinking it was simply a visual glitch, until at this part of the speedrun, you can actually see this piece of blackstone actually move. If you haven't caught on, this is not actually a real block, but the exact same player we've seen throughout the run morphing into a piece of blackstone. So, after collecting all the pearls that he needs, a normal speedrunner would build another portal and head back to the overworlds. The only problem is, this speedrunner is just one block short of being able to create a nether portal. Well, as the speedrunner is frantically running around the nether thinking of what to do, he comes across the overworld house? Did I miss an update? Well, the runner enters the overworld house, but unfortunately, the chest inside is completely empty. But on the wall of this innocent house is a single lever, and when the runner clicks it, it reveals a hole that actually reveals the overworld. And I don't even want to know how, but the runner walks straight through into the overworld. I'm just as confused as you are. So, after entering the overworld without a nether portal, the runner crafts his Eyes of Ender and locates the exact position of the stronghold using a popular technique known as triangulation. But as the runner is digging down towards the stronghold, he digs straight into a lava pool. This guy is so bad at cheating. So, as soon as the runner falls into the lava, he pauses his game immediately so he can think. But I didn't expect him to change tabs from Minecraft to Roblox in the middle of his speedrun. You have to be joking. Well, after literally playing another game for 30 minutes, the runner finally returns to Minecraft. But somehow, even though the runner is still in lava, he isn't taking any damage. Well, if you look into the top right corner of the screen, you'll actually notice the runner has acquired a fire resistance potion, which is literally impossible, as if we rewind the footage to before he started playing Roblox, he clearly didn't have this potion effect at all. It's pretty obvious while the runner was playing Roblox, he went off camera and got a fire resistance potion so he wouldn't die. So, after digging into lava, the runner finally breaks into the stronghold, where he locates the end portal room. The only problem is, the runner only has 9 Eyes of Ender left after wasting too many looking for the end portal room, which is a problem as you need 12 Eyes of Ender to complete an end portal. Well, the runner still decides to start filling up the portal, where he goes to place his final eye, and when he places it, the portal actually lights. But this is literally the most cursed end portal I've ever seen. And honestly, I don't even know what I'm looking at here. We're just gonna move past it. So, the runner enters the portal, spawns into the end, where something incredibly weird has happened. If you look closely, you'll notice that the Ender Dragon doesn't have a health bar, meaning he's already been killed. And when the runner goes to the surface, he can't seem to find the Ender Dragon. Well, I might have spoken too soon, because you have to be kidding me. At this point, I don't even care that it's fake. This is too hilarious. So, the runner literally starts fighting the quote-unquote Ender Dragon, where he kills it and easily finishes the speedrun. This next speedrun...
Well, guys, my brain's fried now from all that. So, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.